Good evening. This is Atmospheric Alex here with another weather forecast for winter weather later this week in areas that have not seen it much in a little bit of time here. We're talking about a very significant southeast winter storm that will likely be taking place on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're going to start off this update on weatherwise.com, and we're going to look at some of your watches right now. I know it's quite a few days out, but we already have winter storm watches that have been issued here for northeast Texas, southeast Oklahoma, into almost all of Arkansas at this point, northern Mississippi, and western Tennessee. And these are going to likely be for 3 to 5 inches of snow and some ice, especially in your southern areas here where we could expect some freezing rain concerns. We'll get into that later in the video, and it's a little bit uncertain at the moment. And now we're going to take a look at your WSSI Winter Severity Index, and you can see a large red area here across much of northeastern Texas here, especially including Dallas. That's important to note. Talking about major winter weather impacts here, likely in the form of snow. Even some areas, some localized spots here, could see extreme winter impacts. I do expect this to shift a little further off to the northeast up through here. But still, if you're in Dallas, you really need to keep an eye on local forecasts, local meteorologists, and the National Weather Service to find out more information. And in your orange categories, this is your moderate risk category. I do expect this to go further in Arkansas. Of course, this is day 3. We don't have day 4 yet. Day 4 is going to be really intriguing back out to our east here in the southeast. That's when we're going to get into Tennessee, more of Alabama, Mississippi, really going to hone in on those impacts. But anyways, your yellow areas, that's your minor risk. You don't really need to worry about that much. Definitely going to have freezing rain concerns further off to your south. That's why that's there. And what did I tell you? Your snow amount, well, illustrates this perfectly. Nice bit of red here. Yeah, I mean, look at across Dallas yet again. McKinney, Sherman, Paris, Sulphur Springs, Texas, Fort Worth getting in on the action. Probably further to the northeast as well. Some red splotches in Arkansas. I do expect that to be expanded further. Snow load in areas that don't typically see snow is going to be a major issue here, to even an extreme issue. This is when you really start getting on your purple colors here. Really got to watch out for this. We could end up seeing maybe some minor damage caused from this snow. Certainly a lot of road impacts as well, but for load, trees could struggle, branches will likely snap. You know, we'll definitely be seeing power outages. This continues to verify power poles could snap as well, and downed power lines. So, got to keep a close eye on that. Even leaking into portions of northern Louisiana as well. Louisiana, they don't get winter weather. Yeah, they're going to this time though. Then ice accumulation. Still extremely uncertain and would likely be more across these areas here in Mississippi, northeastern Louisiana. Some parts of Texas, this will likely be more so sleet, ice pellets. Some ice may mix in. That's what we're looking at there. This will go further east as well. And now for all the bright and pretty colors you have been waiting for. Okay, time to look at your GFS model in terms of your precipitation type and rate. I love using tropical tidbits because it looks a lot more appealing to the eye, and you can see the counties as well, which weather models doesn't show that as well. But you can see breaking on into Thursday afternoon. Look at that here, some light snow being to fall across southeastern Oklahoma here and northeastern Texas. I look at some of your sleet in here as well. As we forward the clock forward, you can see a big old rainstorm for Dallas. That will switch to snow, at least in the northern portions. Full-on raging winter storm here, going through a large chunk here. But look at that low pressure down there near the Gulf, cutting a little bit soon, but because of your cold air supply, not a big deal at all. Look at all that snow across basically a large chunk of the mid-south, upper southeast here. Tons of snow falling, heavy snow. Look at that, northern Mississippi, Northern Alabama, really getting in on the action. Tennessee as well. I'm going to be honest, I really do believe that Tennessee will be your jackpot zone. Maybe just to the south, but yeah, really going to see some significant accumulations. Look at this. We have some freezing rain beginning to break out. This is going into Friday evening. Just your huge snow shield just everywhere at this point in time. Heavy snow getting into Tennessee here, blowing into East Tennessee. Some heavy snow up in Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, Ohio getting in moderate snow. Just winter weather everywhere. And then even getting in on your upstate South Carolina here. Look at that, some snow breaking out there. You've been getting very unlucky over the past few years, so enjoy it while it lasts, right? Getting in on central South Carolina, say areas like the Midlands and stuff, some sleet, freezing rain still expected there. And now we're going into Friday night, and boom, right here, look at that. Very heavy snow band over East Tennessee at this time, wraparound snow as well starting over here. And your low pressure cutting up further north. I think this is too far north, so likely begin to trend a little further south yet again. Freezing rain for a lot of areas, though. Oh, gosh. Talking about a pretty significant ice storm here, and this goes into the mid-Atlantic and just goes absolutely crazy. Big time low pressure swirling tons of cold air back down around it. This is a very classic southeast winter storm, and we haven't seen this in a while. Now for your European model, same song and dance here. As we track into Thursday evening here, yeah, take a look at this. We're talking about some snow across Oklahoma, North Texas, big time snow band, extremely heavy snow just to the north of Dallas here, going into Friday morning. We'll see if that ends up happening. You can see his heavy snow band continuing here, going into Arkansas, really getting slammed here by early Friday morning. And this continues through, again, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia as well. North Georgia getting in on the action. And again, look at going into Tennessee here. Got a heavier band up in Kentucky. It's just an absolutely beautiful look across a very large area here. It does appear that snow really tries to get down into the Atlanta area. Not quite there, though. Very close. So for you people in Atlanta who are hoping for snow, it's hard to tell as of right now. But really, other than that, we'll see upstate South Carolina getting in on it. North Carolina really getting it. Tennessee, round after round of just moisture push there. And finally, the Europeans showing some ice here into central North Carolina. Not nearly as much ice on the Euro model, though. So that's the good news. And for your Canadian model here, same song and dance. Big time heavy ice storm here going on across Dallas. Jeez. I don't think this is going to verify, though, because, I was looking more in depth. Nothing makes sense on this model. I'm going to be completely honest. Having ice this heavy in the south, that's very rare. North of that, look at all your snow. Oklahoma, Arkansas, same song and dance going to Friday morning. Wow, yeah, this is too strong. You're not going to see a system like this that is this intense, especially on the ice going into Friday afternoon. This is ridiculous here. Really? There's no way, right? Big time snow shield and freezing rain going really far south here. This is insane. Almost down to Montgomery here in Alabama. What? That doesn't seem legit, but we'll have to see. And just your good old-fashioned freezing cold rain here. Well, not really freezing, just cold. And heavy snow, really heavy snow moving into East Tennessee here will pile up rates fast going into Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and a Friday night. Just look at that. And this, I will say, is a further north solution for snow. Snow line right here, mixing issues maybe in the valley. It's certainly not out of the question if you get a scenario like this. Low pressure cutting really far north here. I'm not really buying this at the moment because no other model's really showing it. We'll just have to see. Big time ice storm here occurring and sleet storm across North Georgia. Most of South Carolina, North Carolina, yes, yeah, just get the idea there. And further north, obviously, a lot more snow falling as well. Just continues racking up your freezing rain. Not so sure about that. Now that we went that in detailed, I'm probably not going to show every model. We're going to go through your GFS snow accumulation here. And you just take this, not fully, just be a little cautious with this map. But you can see here, just, wow. Yeah, look at this southeastern Oklahoma and western Arkansas. Talking about 7 to 9 inches on this particular run. That would be insane. Dallas-Fort Worth here, talking about 4 to 6 inches of snow. Wow, quite impressive, isn't it? And then as we head much further east here, we're going to take a look at your totals here, and wow, just impressive across the board, really. Look at this, 8 to 10 inches here, crushes northern Mississippi, northern Alabama. That is your target, your hot zone here. And then moving into much of Tennessee here, going into East Tennessee, totals between 6 to 8 inches. My goodness, what an absolute crushing for that area there. And Atlanta, can't leave you out, 4 inches on this run. That is very intriguing. I don't see it getting that far south, but models have been running a lot warmer than they should have been today. So a professional meteorologist stated. Going into Birmingham, 2 to 3 inches. Wow, goodness me. And that just really continues. Less snow as you get into South Carolina, North Carolina, though. What do you expect? You haven't gotten snow the past few years, so you're not going to get it again, right? You should know this by now. That area doesn't see snow. Now, for your European model, this is a lot more aggressive, so if you don't like snow, look away from the screen now. Look at this. Goodness. 11 inches of DFW. I don't really buy that, I'm going to be honest. Further upstream, like Texarkana, 12 to 14 inches. Jeez. Look at that strip of pink. Absolutely outrageous totals through this area. Heavy snow rates. Indeed. Just your maximum up here of 15.4. Not really buying this yet again, but, if this happened, that would be something to remember. But across southern Arkansas, this model, not a forecast, just a model, shows 8 to 14 inches. That's outrageous. And northern Mississippi getting quite a lot in agreement with the GFS. So that's good news there. Speaking of the mid-south, upper southeast here, look at this. Big old swath of 6 to 8 inches carving its way into portions of West Tennessee, going into northern Alabama yet again. Same areas here. Nothing's changed. And you can see East Tennessee and Central Tennessee get a little more shafted this run, but still, do not complain. 4 to 6 inches of snow. Look at that. But now the one thing I will note is right after the Appalachians, it stops. Not much snow on the other side. Still, can't complain. 2 to 3 inches across portions of northern North Carolina. And then upstate South Carolina, 2 to 4 inches. Yeah, we're definitely a lot more disappointing here on the European model, but better for areas further out west. Moving in onto your ensembles now. This is your EPS European Ensemble. Goodness gracious. Really crushes southern Arkansas, 7 to 9 inches. Well, this seems to be a little consistent on this model, so we'll see if it can translate further. I mean, it does look like that area is another jackpot region here. Shows 6 for DFW. Goodness, that's a lot, that area. And moving further to our east here, yeah, definitely higher than the European model altogether. Talking about 8 inches here. Look at that. Northern Mississippi. Look at your contour lines getting really deep into Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. We're talking about snowy now to central Mississippi and central Alabama, central Georgia. A lot further south, I will note. And then, you could see further downstream, 4 to 6 inches as well. Pretty well modeled there, if you ask me. Or the Ohio Valley, sound like a broken record. I guess that's my job at this point. We're talking about 2 to 4 inches across Kentucky. I'll even mention West Virginia, might as well, right? But areas to the east get absolutely nothing, really. Just 1 to 2 inches, that's nothing for that area. Come on. Rookie numbers, right? Okay, now for your GEFS ensemble. You'll already note that Dallas gets next to nothing. 1 to 2 inches, but there's a lot of members that don't show anything there in the first place, so really bad news if you are in northern Texas wanting snow. That's a real shame, isn't it? We have a lot of uncertainty, and this is only 66 hours out? Are you kidding me? Just really don't know what's going to happen, right? But southern central Arkansas, just really, I have a feeling that we could see some overperformance there for what it looks like. But yeah, 4 to 6 inches. Again, that seems really consistent there, at least. And southeastern Oklahoma, it just really, yeah, cashing in here. 4 to 6 inches. Goodness. That's just an area not many people are going to mention, but you could definitely see there quite some good means. Moving further east. Wow, big time hit here going into northern Alabama, northern Georgia. 7 inches nearly. And going into East Tennessee, that is a crushing blow there from the GEFS model. Goodness. And you can see things are much further south than your operational run, so kind of intriguing. But definitely a lot further south here. Atlanta on the mean picking up around 4 inches. Wow. Incredible. Birmingham around 2 to 3 inches. So a lot further south on this particular model run here on this ensemble. But you can see noticeably less snow on the other side of the mountains. And now one last thing before I go, I was going to show some other National Weather Service graphics. We're not quite far enough out to do that yet in full, so I just kind of didn't want to do that yet. We're talking about our GEFS individual panels, and yeah, it's just a big time hit for East Tennessee here. Take a look at that low pressure placement. Again, areas a little further south certainly could see it as well. That's a lot of precipitation. And we'll see if this continues to uptrend here. I mean, certainly incredibly intense snow banding here. Just insane. So, looking really good out there. For this event, I really don't see how this could whiff. Yeah, knock on wood, right? But we're seeing all these here in great agreement. Except member 3. We can throw that in the garbage, though. Alright, with that being said, I hope I didn't get too excited in this video, because I am looking forward to this. Really, you haven't seen this much snow in a little bit, so I'm definitely looking forward to this one. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to smash that like button, and even feel free to subscribe to my little corner of the weather community, and share this with friends and family on social media. They may want to know about this information. It'd be useful if you got the word out to them, especially since they may not believe you. You can also feel free to leave a comment in the section below letting me know how I've done in this video and what future suggestions you might have for me next. That being said, I'll see you all in the next video, probably in the next couple of days. We get our National Weather Service data flowing. You have a wonderful evening.